For years, I was living with a belief I didn't even know I had, and it was quietly wrecking every attempt I made to improve my life. It kept my confidence pinned to the floor and made new habits feel impossible. Today, I'll share how I saw this belief for what it was and how getting rid of it changed everything for me. My life used to be a graveyard of failed hobbies. Sound familiar? A guitar gathering dust, language apps I'd delete after a week. The story was always the same. I'd start something new, buzzing with excitement, but the second I hit a real wall, a chord I couldn't play, a phrase I couldn't grasp, a voice would say, "See, you're just not a music person." And just like that, it was over. I'd give up. I truly believed that if I wasn't naturally good at something right away, I would never be good at it. This constant cycle of starting and quitting left me feeling totally defeated, like I was incapable of sticking with anything. My aha moment came from a book by psychologist Carol Dweck. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was living with what she calls a fixed mindset. This is the belief that your intelligence and talents are just fixed traits, carved in stone. It makes you terrified of failure because every mistake feels like a final judgment on your character. But the alternative is a growth mindset. This is the simple belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication and effort. The hand you're dealt is just your starting point, not your destiny. I realized I hadn't been failing because I was incapable. I was failing because I believed failure was a dead end, not a detour. Flipping this mental script was about a few practical shifts. First, I started reframing my thoughts by adding one powerful word: yet. So, I can't do this became I can't do this yet. This tiny change reframed challenges as temporary, not permanent. Second, I shifted from blaming my circumstances to taking ownership. Instead of saying, "I just don't have time," I started asking, "What is one small thing I can do to move forward right now?" This puts you back in control. If you're finding this helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for more. Finally, I started focusing on my process, not just the outcome. The goal wasn't learn guitar. It was become someone who practices for 10 minutes a day. Focusing on the identity of being consistent makes new habits far more likely to stick. Once I started applying these ideas, everything began to shift. I picked up that guitar again. When I hit a chord that felt impossible, the old voice was still there. But now, a new voice answered it. "This is just the part where it gets hard. This is where you grow." So I kept going. My confidence is no longer tied to being perfect from the start. It's built on a much stronger foundation. The resilience that comes from knowing I can face a setback, learn from it, and keep moving forward. That one belief, that our abilities are fixed, is a silent saboteur. But the best news is that our brains are built to change. Adopting a growth mindset, where you see challenges as opportunities, is the key that unlocks your own improvement. Your potential isn't set in stone. It's just waiting for you to cultivate it. So I want you to identify one area in your life where you might be holding a fixed belief. In the comments below, tell me what a more growth-oriented alternative would sound like. Let's start flipping the script together.